Hello everybody, Gene Kepler Gamer here, and this is Factorio going nuts too. The legend lives on. The other Megabase that never finished building the base before doing the Megabase. After 10 days of gameplay and 5 years, I was trying to go back to it, but unfortunately I lost all the saves besides one that was only 4 days of gameplay, so the last 6 days of gameplay was missing, and that base was stuck in 0.15. It's a good time to get some get up to catch up to speed, catch up with Factorio. This is 1.1 that has everything that should be 1.0 but wasn't made up in time because it would suffer serious delays. So this is the proper 1.0 version with new graphics and everything else. Spider-Tron. Really enjoying this game. But instead of doing already a modded let's play, I'm starting doing a vanilla Megabase, and instead of playing several hours and then several days later starting to record the voiceover, I'm going to play and record 1 hour and a half and then do the time lapse on the video editor, and now recording the audio voiceover over the time lapse before I get back to the game. Otherwise, I will just play and play and play and just procrastinate and never record the voiceover. The longer I go into the game, the less motivated I am to go back to the start of the game and record the voiceover. So now I only go back to playing the game after I record this, which is what I'm doing right now. Also, this time playing using the time lapse at 3 times the speed instead of the 12 times speed, because it's really nice to see everything working at this speed. I made some test recordings, test encodings, and recording at 60 frames per second and then speeding up to 3 times the speed using 60 frames per second on the encoded video as well, produce the most satisfying results to look at afterwards. Even when I upload to YouTube, that really compresses the video and a lot of quality is lost. I realized that if you make a 4K video, then even the lower qualities will be better, but I don't have the resources to build this, to make this in 4K. So 1080p it is, for now at least. Maybe one day, if I start the Patreon, get supporters and everything, then I will be able to afford a better computer to make better time lapses. But now it's a more of a humble start like this. At least I'm starting to get used to the workflow of recording, then doing the time lapse, then doing the voiceover, then upload it to YouTube, sharing it, put all the tags and everything, which is the hardest thing for me to do. It's really the thing that I did really procrastinate. I can record the videos, upload, but I leave to share it and do everything later. Or I just do not the best job. I don't put all the necessary effort to make the video easy for people to find, putting all the tags so people can find the research and sharing in all the medias. that so we can reach as many people as possible. At least I wanna start again the forum topic. That thing I really got it going for me. If there was one thing that I was doing nice on the other playthrough, was that forum thread. I really, I don't know from where it came, but I can really go on and on and on, talking about Factorio and everything else. And yeah, it was a lot of material, so many pages, so many lines, so many words that I have written in that thread. I will try to make. If there's one thing that I have to change for this time, it's to actually do not go off topic so much, or at least at the start of each column, each chronic, each day on the diary. Try to write the most important things first, and then maybe go on and on about anything. Anyway, I'm doing a vanilla Megabase, but I'm already starting with a very unique challenge, since I love to build things first and then fine tune them later. I'm already doing a 1000 science marathon gameplay. I'm just not using the option to do expense science recipes or any others expensive recipe, because I want to compare this base with others when I build the final Megabase, which should do 1000 science per minute, or maybe if that runs very smoothly, I might do 2000 science per minute, or even more, 5000, 10,000, who knows. I really wanna, but I really wanna do one step at a time, not go straight into a very huge mod pack, or straight into a very large Megabase that I won't ever complete. So first, let's try 1000 science per minute. Then, if that goes well, I can try to double that up. Well, the way I'm going to build the base, if I want to double that, I just get a blueprint and double that easily, because I want to make a closed chain from sorting the ores at the start until the science comes out at the end. That will be a closed chain that will have everything that's needed for that 1000 science per minute work. One closed circuit, one closed chain for each flask. The first one the red, and then the other ones. I always tried. I only once, my very first very small base I played on vanilla. The second base already was using Bob's and Ditech, which was a very ancient mod pack from 0.14, 0.13. And then the other gameplay that I did was with an even bigger mod pack. Then I already went to the Going Nutz Megabase, which was Bob's and Angels, with Petrochem, which was a very huge mod. And I never finished it because of that. This time I'm gonna start on vanilla, build a Megabase in vanilla, and then build the mod packs from there. Anyway, since this is a 1000 challenge, 1000 science challenge, and the first science, which is automation, you only need 10 red flasks. I already did that, and now for the next one, which is logistics or every other tech, it's 1000 times more expensive. So if instead of 10 flasks, you're going to need 10,000 flasks to research logistics. And other technologies will be even higher. For concrete, I think I will need 250,000 flasks of science just to unlock one tech. So I'm going to build a 1000 science per minute. I already will build a mega production chain. uh, sorry, I can't speak properly sometimes in English. Let me say. The end goal for this game is going to build a 1000 science per minute mega base. But to reach there, since I'm using this very expensive science modifier, I am already going to build a 1000 science per minute mega base as I go along. The difference probably will be that this first mega base, this first version of this mega science factory won't be made in a much pretty way using Factorio, spacing things out, because I'm still going to learn how much I will need of each section, of each step of the production chain. So it won't be everything linear, everything perfect. But will be a great test run, a great prototype for the Megabase for the end of the game. Other two things that people love to do, well, I was looking at Exterminator video about Megabases, and he said instead of building a huge science Megabase, other things that people go for is trying to put every entity on the bus or build one full stack of each entity, one full chest of each entity. For most entities, that is not a lot, but things like the roboports and some other things are really expensive. So it could take a long while to build them and put them into the stack. For this base, it will be a vanilla mega base, but since I will have a long time to wait for every science to unlock, I'm also going to build one full stack of each thing and a mega bus that will have every entity on it. I'm probably going to make, I just don't know exactly if I'm going to build, I just don't know exactly where I'm going to build those things. The science mega base will start from, we'll have the train unloading the ores a little up from where we are right now, and we'll just keep going up to each sides, but never down. And this mega bus will have each entity. I will probably do to the bottom or to the left, like I did the mega bus for the Going Nuts series that never finished. That mega bus was just to produce every entity that I was going to use for the mega base, but I decided to already make only one entity per column and build only a small stack, only one square of the chest of each entity. But a lot of things I was putting on the mega bus as well, but not everything, especially the robo parts, using Bobs and Angels. Some things that were very, very expensive. And since I was building everything using yellow belts, it was thinking, why? Oh yes, the main thing about Going Nuts, I don't use modules. I only use yellow belts, and I always use the lowest tier assembly machine possible. If I can produce something using this gray level 1 assembly machine, which only can support up to 3 ingredients, I'm going to use that. If need 4 ingredients, then I'm going to use level 2. If it needs any liquid, then it will have to be level 3 assembly machine that can take up to 5 ingredients, I think. Anyway, at least in Bob's and Angels, there was a assembly machine level 5, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I'm only going to build that if necessary. Well, but if there is in the game, at least I'm going to produce it on the production chain so I can have every item on the bus and a full stack of it. Another thing that I'm not sure how much is going to use on my computer is how many RAM memory I will need to build everything that I'm planning to build. That's one thing that's one of the reasons that I'm thinking of going one step at a time instead of already producing a 10K science megabase with all the limitations that I'm planning to build. Because, well, it can get really hungry for processor output and RAM memories. I'm even thinking that I might have to buy more RAM for my computer so it can support the gameplay that I'm planning to do. On the processor, the CPU front, I already have a nice i7 4790. It's now kind of old. I built in 2014. I bought it in 2014, but it gets the job done. It surely gets the job done. Not only has to process all the game information, but also record the video. In 0.15, since they didn't optimize the bells to use multi-cores, it wasn't heavy. Now, when I try to stream the game and record offline for the time lapse, it started to take a toll and the game started to slow down sometimes when the processor was very busy. But I can put Factorio to only use 6 of the 8 possible cores and record the video on one of the cores and leave one core free for everything else on the computer, like music, which sometimes I use, and this kind of gameplay. Yeah, one of the reasons I don't stream on Twitch, besides that you really spend a lot of time talking, and the way of this game is just a huge marathon. I really like to stay silent and just enjoy myself and do the stuff. But I might try to stream once or twice to Twitch. But another thing that I really enjoy is to listen to music while I'm playing Factorio, or sometimes listen to a podcast. But I might try to pick one day of the week that I'm also live stream whatever I'm building. Like Friday nights might be a nice idea, especially now with the pandemics. I can't go to parties. Not that I went to parties before on Friday nights, but it's different. A Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday evening, something like that. Pick one day of the week to do a live stream. I just don't know if I'm going to do that on Twitch or on YouTube, or maybe both. I already have a problem. Here you can see the pollution. Even though there are no biters, I left pollution on for now because I want to see how much it will spread, especially since I'm building a lot of burner miners and they produce a whole lot of pollution. And we don't have a lot of trees on this map, so the pollution might spread kind of far away. But first I want to unlock the radar so the radar can explore the map for me. I'm not really a fan of going walking and exploring, at least without the mechanic legs that make you run faster. Anyway, before we were doing right now, I made, oh, this thing is not aligned with the power poles, so I'm remaking it in a way that they are aligned with the rest of the factory as much as possible. And well, one of the mods that I'm using is the companion drones that are flying beside me, so I can already use blueprints to build exactly what I'm doing right now. Much easier to expand on this kind of gameplay. I need something, some slack. I need to give myself some breaks on this playthrough. The biggest goal is to finally finish a base instead of procrastinating. Finally finish the base and finally finish all the voiceover and the playthroughs instead of procrastinating and never doing it. But I'm still kind of megalomaniac. On the other Factorio Nutz, I was doing 4 types of playthrough. One with commentary, one time-lapse commentary, another with only music, and also one in Portuguese. And some live streaming, some later uploads in real time as well. It was all over the place. Now I'm trying to stay a little more organized, but I'm also recording. I also recorded this video in Portuguese first, so I just use that as a warm-up before doing this English voiceover, because I was thinking that, well, sometimes I really get stuck trying to say something in English and I don't know what to speak, and the game is going and I'm just stuck trying to translate everything in my mind before speaking. But as you can see right now, I'm not really having a hard time having things to talk about. I don't even am able to talk everything that I'm doing. I have thought that I was going to have a much harder time finding things to talk about, but the game is going on. Anyway, yeah, it's a 1000 modifier. I'm still at 0% on the science. I'm just using all my resources to expand my resource production and to automate every entities that I'm going to be using, like the furnaces, the burner miners, the science lab, the power poles, the inserters, and the assembly machines. I think that's are all of them that I'm automating. I should also automate the steam machines, the pipes, the furnaces. But once I research logistics, I will start a main bus, which I will build the production chains. I'm just not sure if I build only one entity per column of the bus or a bigger chain of resources that start entering the first stage of the chain is only transforming the iron plates into logs or any other sub product, and then go from there. Where the production chain will start and where it will end. What should I build on the production chain or build somewhere else, put on the bus, and then send from the bus to the next production chain? That's one thing that we'll have to decide. I don't know exactly. Anyway, 2 steam machines was not enough anymore, and that burner miner drill wasn't feeding enough coal into the boiler. So I changed the way I produce the coal for the energy production. And at the end of this game, at this session, at the end of this video, I will have expanded the production labs so much that I will only be making half the energy that I need. But I only realized that at the end of the video, at the end of the playthrough, so It will be one of the first things that I'm going to produce at the start of the next video. I will probably automate the steam machines production. No, well, maybe not, because I will automate them a little bit later. But anyway, I will have to double the energy production, or even more than that. And here you can see all the science now. I'm really using the blueprints and the companion drones to my advantage. And I reached already the milestone, the achievement of producing 20,000 iron plates in less than an hour. I'm probably going to make already a science base that produces 1,000 science flasks of the red science flasks on the next chapters. And for those, I think I will need 120,000 plates per hour to make 1,000 flasks per minute. It will be already, I don't know the Factorio achievements, but I probably will unlock another tire of this one, or two. We'll see. At one point on this game, I'll probably will have to use console commands, and then I will stop being able to score achievements. But that will be for the Science Megabase at the end, which will go upwards, and I will build that Science Megabase only using belts, but everything with a lot of space in between each steps of the production chain, so everything looks more beautiful and more realistic, like it was a real life base that don't rely on CPU processor power, and just make everything more spaced out, and don't need to build a lot of things in one day, because the factory will be there for 24, will be working 24/7 if it was in real life. So things just can take a little longer to get done. Well, you will see. I'm still not sure how I'm going to build that, but I probably will. I hope that I can make something pleasant to look at and fun to see in action. Like a little bit of a Rubet Cobber factory. I don't know, kind of a little bit like a Rubet Cobber machine, maybe. We'll see. I really don't know, because the only game I played on vanilla was in 0.14, and I only played up to a certain point. It was it was a very small base. When you start playing this game, the first base you look like it's a big thing for you when you build it for the first time, but after you start playing this game more and more, and you come back to your first builds, that thing will look so tiny, like you won't believe that it's the same base that you had, that you remember it. Your memories of that base will probably be of something much more bigger and more complex than it actually was. Anyway, here I'm checking if everything of the Bornemeier's, coal Bornemeier's, still had a lot of coal to mine. It wouldn't stop mining coal and then hold the whole chain of coal mining there. Here I'm feeding copper everywhere, trying to spread evenly everywhere to keep them working as longer as possible. But I'm still having a copper shortage and iron shortage from everything. But here it is, the end of chapter 1. Leave comments, like, and subscribe. See you on the next chapter. Thank you for watching and enjoy the view. Yeah, that's nice to look at. Until we still have a little extra time, I'm going to save the game and then finish the video. But here I took a screenshot of a little afterwards and post it on Reddit. Had It's nearly on 1,000 likes right now after 12 hours, or a little more than 12 hours now. But yeah, it really got a lot of likes. If you might see this somewhere. Anyway, thanks for watching.